storm clouds moving in. Whatever's going on, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't be. Mike's where the page lie is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some news they don't understand. Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the lane. If you want to know it first and you want to know it right, one more time to play. Drunk Donkey Nation tells you Mike keeps you rain. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Well, I'm racing here today. I got the things aren't going as smooth today, so give me a second. God, I just logged into the wrong YouTube. I got it down. It takes me 3 minutes to get everything perfect, and I had to switch YouTube accounts, and that messed me all up. So now we're good. Perfection. All right. We got everything rolling. I think we're good to go. Cool. Well, good morning. It's Monday. I think it's Monday. Is it Monday? It's Monday. Got weather to talk about. Hey, Louie, I'm telling you, I sat down at like 9:09, and guess who put his paws up on my chair? Louie. He knew it was time. I swear this dog knows it's 9:19. He's been doing our lives for 7 years now. 7 years. You know Hunter's 5 years old? He's 7. You all remember him. You all remember Louie as a puppy. We got Louie together. I feel like the Truman Show. Ed TV. Reality TV. My boy. Half pint. It is Monday. What's up, Ian? How's Jamaica? One day we'll get down there. Caymans, Jamaica. I have a very little bucket list. One of my bucket lists is the Caribbean islands. Bermuda. Belize. Just to do it. We'll come hang out with Ian. Hey, our big cruise is a month away. We ordered shirts. If you're on our cruise, if you're listening and you're on the Mike's Weather Page cruise, you should have got an email from Julie. Okay? We're doing things different this year. We're going to send out our shirts early this year. So your swag bag on the cruise will be everything but shirts. So we do have stickers and koozies and some freebies and stuff like that. But the shirts have to be ordered by tomorrow. So if you're on the cruise and you didn't get an email, reach out to me somehow. Mike's Weather Page at gmail.com and say, hey, I want a shirt. I'm on the cruise. But anyway, let's talk about weather. I got a crazy schedule coming up. Got a couple more expos. Had an awesome Dunedin Hurricane Expo Saturday. Met a lot of folks. Hopefully you got to go. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I was a speaker there for about 30 minutes. Went really good. Heading over to Orlando Friday for one. I got one Saturday here in Palm Harbor. And then on Monday, I'm flying to Kansas City for OSR for one. And then the GHC's next week down in West Palm Beach, the Governor's Hurricane Conference. We'll be there with Furman Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, we'll be back home. So we got a live on Wednesday this week. And then we got a live next Friday. No Friday live this week, just the following week. Next week will be slow. Once we get past our cruise the first week of June, then it's pretty much every day. Every damn day. So, Kitchen, good morning down south. Kitchen was so nice to nominate us for the Tropical Meteorology Award back in 2021, which we won. That was before Ian and Idalia and Milton and Helene. Who would have thought? Before all those Florida storms. Morning, Mr. Gary. How's it going? Beautiful morning. It is. It's from the Smoky Cylinder. I want to know, do you live in the Smokies? Danny was pretty strong water spout, huh? I saw a video of one somewhere. Richard Reimer. What's up, buddy? How's Karen doing? What's up, Karen? What's up, James? Good morning. Hope you're feeling better, Karen. Michael, what's up? Looks like you just had SpaghettiOs in your little good emoji there. All I saw was the G-O-O-D. It looks like SpaghettiOs. Jennifer, were you there? Oh, yeah, there you are. Heck yeah. Appreciate you asking about my dad. Jennifer Taylor at Expo was great, too. We had a couple of Jennifers. Oh, my God. 2 Jennifers were at the Expo. Jennifer Taylor over there in MWP chat. Thank you. Had two Jennifers at the same time. It was at the Expo. Oh, man. So anyway, let's talk about the weather a little bit. Hope you're doing good. We got some weird Omega block pattern. Are you here for the Omega block pattern? Definitely got a lot of interesting comments. See you back, Brandy. What's the status with your camper? Tropics waking up early. What's up, Hubbard? Dylan? My man? Yeah, the tropics are going to be sneaky. Always early in May. My buddy Hubbard there, Dylan Hubbard, Indian Rocks, or Madeira Beach. Technically, you're technically Madeira Beach, right? John's Pass. I think that's technically Madeira Beach. Or, I think it's Madeira Beach. What is it? What are you officially, Dylan? Yeah, my dad's doing good, Steve. Thank you. I did buy him. He had a few. Heck yeah, there's deals on Furman, Barbara. Always MWP 30% off. Free shipping. Do it. All right. Well, let's do a screenshot with Louie real quick, and then we'll say goodbye. What am I going to put up? Let's put up that. That's my... Here, Louie, let's look surprised, Louie. Here, go, look up there. Look up there. No, we'll both look. Madeira Beach, Hubbard officially says. Yes. Cold front season, Hubbard, yes. Oh my God. Dylan and I were like 2 little kids. Funny story. I know, well, it's 5 years ago. But we were on the dock and a big old wave came up and scared the heck out of us. You see 2 guys running on a dock like fast as we can go. We were scared to death. We thought the dock was going down. Like, whoa, don't ever run on a dock when the surge is coming up. I was like, because you can see the wood coming up when the waves. See, docks are built with gravity. But when the water comes from the bottom, guess what? It starts popping nails. Not good. Wood floats. Oh, anyway, so hopefully everybody's doing good. We'll talk about the weather. We got the Omega block. We're talking about the tropics here in a little bit. Already seeing little hints here and there of oh, I bet oh God, I can only imagine Helene. Man, I can only imagine what it was like in Helene. our trucks wouldn't have survived. That's for sure. Hey, I got this cool book. I get stuff mailed every damn day. So I want to do a shout out to Renee Bone. Sent me this book, Hide and Seek Gum. Ready or not, here I come. So I'll read it. I get all kinds of cool stuff. Hide and Seek Gum. Ready or not, here I come. Very nice long letter. And so anyway, I always like to do a shout out when people take the time to send something. So thank you. All right, so ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Hope you had a great weekend. We sure did. Hanging out, watching the Kentucky Derby, watched the Rays beat the Yankees. Woo! Watched a little NASCAR. Had an early dinner with Dad last night. Got to come home and sip on a little Jim Beam. Called an early night. Got my 8 hours sleep, feeling good. But we really appreciate all that ABC Fine Wine and Spirits does for MWP. Here's the story of the year. Not really. But have you ever noticed with social media when somebody starts something like this Omega block pattern, it goes crazy? Like everybody feels the need to share it, including me. Yes, I'm a follower. As somebody said, I'm a rebrander of other people's work. So anyway, you can see these two little lows spinning. We're going to talk about it. We got these low pressure areas controlling the weather. Boy, that thing's big. Let me slide over here. But basically, there's a low pressure there, and there's a low pressure there. Winds are coming around like that, and that, and that. So we have cool weather here. Cool, cool. Hot there. Storms and rain. So we got storms and rains on the southeast side of both of these. And this is whipping up around the New England area, East Coast today, and fueling that sea breeze across Florida. So these two little lows, the Omega block pattern, we got 80s all the way up to the Canadian border. Wild, right? That's what we're talking about. All right, so this is Hurricane Preparedness Week. I'm going to be sharing today's, every day there's a new one, 7 days of hurricane preparedness links. Nobody likes these. They only like the Omega block pattern posts, apparently. I try to be very responsible and have hurricane information, but nobody cares. But somebody out there does. So, half pint, thank you. What's up, Harold? Rain out west. Tiffany, the sound should be good. You need to crank it up. Crank it up, dude. Turn it up. Prepare before the season. That's this today's. I'm going to share that. Yesterday's was know your risks, water and wind. Okay, so every day there's going to be a new one of those. Today, I'll post it after this one. Yesterday morning, it was interesting. We talked about it on Saturday that we might see a line of storms coming across in the morning, and we sure did. There's my location. This is the new WeatherWise. Dylan Hubbard, you need to download the new WeatherWise app. I love it to death. I like Radar Scope, but I also love the new WeatherWise. I like WeatherWise. They communicate very well on X, and they're actually going to change the location marker for me because I noticed yesterday when we were storm chasing, which I was going to talk about here in a second, this red little dot that indicates where I'm at gets lost in the heavy rain, which is also red. So they're going to change the color, hopefully, to like black, or give us the option to change the location, which makes so much sense, right? When I was in that intense rain yesterday, and yes, it did rain in Florida. It was hard to see the red. But there was a tornado. It looked very suspicious on satellite. Vorticity was definitely indicating possible tornado. Nothing was confirmed, but definitely folks were posting that they heard it, they saw it. A lot of spin in the upper atmosphere. It never came down. I did take my drone out in Lakeland. Yes, I am Stephanie Stokes. We'll be there, yeah. Gulf Coast Jam. Couple weeks. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, my good buddy Mark and Rendy hooked me up, and I'll be hanging out with the Jim Beam folks in their VIP area. So come hang out, have a drink, Stephanie. Well, fireball, or fire, not fireball. I have it over there, Jim Beam Fire. I like their apple better though. Jim Beam apple. Jim Beam apple is scary. Little bit of Diet Coke. Oh, a little bit of that fizz. Little apple. So yeah, the clouds are wicked. Yeah, try it out, Hubbard. He's a nice guy. Pretty impressive cloud. You know, everybody got mad at me. Weather brings out angry people. They're like, "Oh, I didn't get nothing." I'm sorry. I'm just sharing a cloud picture here. I can't help the fact that you didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. I didn't get mad at Dennis. I was going to text Dennis and say, "You said it was going to rain. It rained a mile from my house. You lied." But anyway, that was pretty impressive cloud. I had a really good drone video. It was on both sides. That's Interstate 4. Yeah, heavy rain though on the north side of this cloud. So that's what I was doing yesterday, storm chasing, testing out some new equipment. Very happy. I got a new remote camera now that I can switch to that works. That was my big test. It never went out. That was the big test for me. For that. All right, what else we got? That's what I woke up to. So first thing I do usually when I wake up in the morning is look at a couple things. Look at radar, look at the National Weather Service map, this National Weather Service map. Look at all that green. Now I knew that was coming, but that's a lot of green. That's a lot of flooding. That's almost larger than the whole state of Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina combined. But that's flooding to come. We got these low pressure areas spinning in all this moisture towards the upper Gulf. So that's the storyline the next couple of days. A lot of rain, a lot of flooding. Here's what it looks like. No comments, please. Jim Beam Fire, there it is. Oh, I heard about the Dr. Pepper, man. I don't know. This is crazy wild, though. Hey, what? Did anybody go to the F1 race down south, Eric? I didn't even hear about it. Tiffany, yeah, you were on I-4. You probably saw my drone, Tiffany. I was probably flying over you. This is crazy, though. This is crazy. This is 500 millibar, mid-level low. 2 low-pressure areas spinning right now. They call this the Omega Block. I guess it's always been around, but basically it's... How do you draw an Omega symbol? I don't know. Something like that? I don't even know. Look up the Greek letter O. It's called Omega Block. But what's fascinating is... I don't even know. I don't even know. Dennis said it's... He said it happened all the time. I'm just I just follow what everybody else is posting. I did, Joe. We are going to talk about the tropics. Yes, stick around. We're going to talk about the tropics. I promise. We got a CAG setting up, and we're starting to see those phantom GFS runs. But I do want to talk to you about it. Panama City, Florida. Carrie, what's up? Funny story about Jay sipping on some Knob Creek. Clarify that. Half pint, it is cool. What's up, Billy Kimpton? What's up, man? What's up, Fred? Funny story about Panama. We were Googling Panama to Cape Canaveral because we're going to Panama City for the Gulf Coast Jam, and then we're basically going straight from Panama to our Mike's Right Page cruise on Monday. And I typed in Panama to Cape Canaveral, and it was 15 hours because it was figuring out Panama, the country. I'm like, no, we're not going there. 15, or no, I think it was 50 hours. It wasn't 15, I think it was 50, 5-0. So it's crazy. Let me show you. I mean, it's nuts. So we got a low pressure. All this is creating like, oh, there's Julie sneezing. She can't control it. 80s. Big old low. We got cooler temps around these lows right now. We have storms coming in on the backside of these lows. So we got increased sea breeze action today and a lot of storms in the northeast. This low right here is going to slide across. This one's merging with a jet stream. This one's going to end up being the weather maker during the end of the week, I have a feeling. This low is going to end up in the Gulf. We're going to talk about it. Fascinating, right? Two cut-off lows. Yeah. Here's another look at it. Look, I thought it was pretty cool looking at a temperature map. Good morning, darling. Susie. It could be 15 hours, Shelly. I know. We might leave Sunday night. We might stick the kids with Phil and Rachel. I don't know if I want to stress about leaving Monday morning. Oh, left is always bigger. Yeah, that's a bigger low. I'm not sure why. Yeah, Danny, they have a high in the middle. Basically, it's low, high, low. And the reason, look at these temperatures. So temperature maps really show you what's going on today. I thought this was pretty fascinating. So there's your two lows. Look at highs of 50s and 60s in the yellow and the blue. I mean, we got highs in the 50s across Kentucky and Indiana, parts of Illinois today, and Ohio. Highs of 50, May the 5th. When's Cinco de Mayo, by the way? It's coming up. I know Cinco de Mayo is a big day to drink margaritas, right? At Chili's. What's up, James Sport? Camera's fuzzy? Shouldn't be. It's a network issue. We're good. But anyway, the temperature map is pretty crazy, right? So there's your high. We got highs at 84, 85, all the way up to North Dakota. Harold, how hot's it going to be at that back by you? Cool and hot. But 80s in South Dakota, North Dakota, 80s in Minnesota there. So warm heat in the middle of these two lows. Look at, we got 90s down in Florida today. 90s in southern Texas. So there's the temperature map showing you what's cooking, the wind flow. Rainfall map. Big story this week is going to be heavy rain as this low pulls up moisture right here. A lot of area under flooding potential tomorrow in the red and the yellow, but red is usually better than yellow. This is your red light sequence right here. You get green, yellow, red. Stop. Cinco de Mayo today. I know I'm just teasing y'all. You know me by now, right? Dylan, right? I know that. Dylan, we got a boat now, man. I got a little bigger boat, so maybe shoot me where to dock. I can come down there and hang out with you. We got a little bigger bow. We lost the Needham boat ramp to the hurricane. That was our number one spot to boat for the last 15 years. We always put it into Needham Marina, but they're not going to have their marina open for a long time. And I refuse to go to Seminole. It's a zoo down there. My day of boating is not to be stressed at the boat ramp. So we got a spot at Homeport, which I love. Homeport, the people up there are so great. They all follow the page. By my dad's house. Got a little bigger bow because I figured since we're going to be hanging out in the intercoastal, we need a little bigger bow. The deck boat was nice, but it bounced around a little too much. The bow was flat, so we can cruise the waters hopefully a little bit better. We've been boating for 20 years. That was Julie's Valentine's Day present back in like 2012. I pulled up. I bought an old lake boat from a fella in Homeless House Springs, and I pulled into her Publix that she worked at, and I said, "Surprise!" It was red. I'm like, "It's red. Better than roses, maybe." Roses probably would have made her happier. And our new one's red, so everything goes full circle. Hurricane red. All right, so here's your rainfall. That pattern here with the lower, kind of a subtropical jet connecting to the two lows, but there's your moisture flow. Now, we're going to see some increased action across Florida this weekend, unfortunately. This big old low is going to slide over to the eastern part of the Gulf, it looks like, and we're going to talk about that. Rainfall through Saturday morning here, heavy rain. That's showing 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches maybe, so definitely Louisiana and surrounding areas are watching for flooding rains the next couple days. This is tomorrow on the bottom. That's the big weather story. Here's today. So we do have storm potential. Notice, why is the West Coast and the Panhandle not showing anything? Well, it's basically a flow pattern of these winds. Dry air comes across the Gulf and pretty much doesn't get going until the middle part of the state when we have these sea breeze collisions and the moisture rises and all that technical stuff. But you can see in this bottom left graphic is a rainfall coverage map. Doesn't really show you anything other than areas that could see something. It's not an actual stamp. It's the whole time frame of rainfall. So you can see It almost follows the Storm Prediction Center to a T. This is showing you middle state east. So everything's going to start in the middle state. So today is one of those tricky days. This is what I long. Gulf Coast. Yeah, we had one cell that was had a tornado warning and didn't see anything. But it was pretty. I mean, I had some pretty decent shelf clouds, for sure. But for a little boating story, over the years, we used to always go boating in the afternoon, and we'd have these massive storms building here in Oldsmar, and I would use my weather knowledge to know that those storms were going inland for the day, and people were coming out of the water, and we're going into the water, and they're like, "Look at those storms." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're going inland." So, HRRR is your friend with modeling, and you can learn a lot about the weather. Like today would be a great boating day because all the rain's going inland. So we might go out. We might see us out there. How do you pronounce your name? Noelia? Since I Sheila, Sheila. No. I'm trying to be respectful, but I'm terrible with names. But I did do a post about the afternoon storms, and they do seem like they're not as predictable as they used to be. I don't know what it is. Noel. Hey, that's easy. Remember Noel? Now the trick is, will I remember that? Ask me tomorrow. All right, that's the storms today. So hey, listen, there could be some sneaky stuff today. Yeah, Gulf Coast. I didn't realize until I listened to it. That it really was a really last second idea. I was really testing my video, but I gotta boost the gain up on the audio. So thanks. Cool, Dylan. We would love to come hang. We got a date at Hooters. Storm Prediction Center map. Let's talk about it real quick. Then we're going to talk about a hurricane season. That's today. Boom, 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 boom. Look at these storms wrapping around that low pressure. Pretty fascinating, right? Coming in around. So we got the Carolinas, Virginia, through Florida today. I thought we had an updated one, actually. Hold on a minute. They haven't been updating these. Oh, there we go. Okay. Had to hit refresh. So we got yellow now because of the top side of this low coming in off the Atlantic. So that's pretty significant today. Definitely Texas. We know that. That's going to be in the same, southeast part of that low, spinning up some storms. Texas there. We also got it coming around on the other low. So we got two areas because of the two different lows, and they're both on the east side. So definitely an area that's not used to getting it from this direction. Little different angle up there in Ohio and Pennsylvania areas. Our storms wrapping around. Everybody like that. Yeah, I'm going to do a test later. Thanks, Gulf Coast. I will not remember Jason Strong. No. Noel. I'll remember that. Noel. All right, storms today. Though, look this. All right, so here's tornado. Let's refresh. Looks like still Florida. So I wanted to point this out. Look at not zero chance. That's why I said earlier we could have sneaky storms. Okay, we got a strong jet stream from that low pressure coming across. We got a lot of daytime heating today. So 2% isn't zero. So we had a tornado warning yesterday. Just putting it out there, and of course we have a 5% there in Texas. Likely be a tornado watch later today. And then hail. Close that. Refresh. There's your hail marker. So increased hail with these storms today. That low pressure, cold air aloft, cold air high, thunderstorms will build up and give that opportunity for raindrops to become hail before they fall down. So there is your hail increased in the yellow for the New England mid-Atlantic area, and we got the hail down in Florida, obviously with the thunderstorms that could be strong. And the hatched area in Texas is the 2-inch hail. You all know about that. You live in this hail season all the time. All right, tomorrow, Tuesday, sliding eastward is our low pressure area there. So we got the storm and the heavy rains tomorrow. Isolated storms across the peninsula, and then a little bit remains there in New England from our other low that's going to be lifting off out of the way. So that's tomorrow. And here's your tornado outlook tomorrow, Louisiana and Texas with the tornado outlook tomorrow, Tuesday. All right, so I got some individual maps. We're going to go right into hurricane season. So since we're talking a lot about Texas, and we had these guys at my expo, I wanted to show you them real quick because they offer a awesome home protection unit that a lot of our MWPs have purchased and they love. So U.S. Flood Control, Tiger Dam, and there's a little video of me. So if you're in an area, especially Texas, gets a lot of flooding, and you want to protect doorways and different areas of your home, then definitely check out Tiger Dam. A lot easier to use than sandbags, and you can put them away when you're done. So anyway, there's that. I just want to show you that. Especially, we talk so much about expos here in Florida, and stuff like this is always on display that maybe some other areas don't even know it exists. So, but they also do the big hospitals. They did the whole eastern seaboard of Florida after Nicole and Ian. They actually put up a seawall, first time ever, the whole Volusia County. And they do all the substations during hurricanes here in Florida. FDM uses them a lot. It's good company. All right. So I want to show you the rainfall. So we got this weird low pressure here. Let me show you daily rains. So I got my eye on a couple things. One is going to be this weekend coming up. We could see this low pressure sliding across, possibly bringing some increased weather for the upper Gulf, southeast area this weekend coming up. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Here's rainfall today. Heavy rains tomorrow, obviously. Lots of rain in a short amount of time tomorrow. Tuesday, that's the area to watch. And then on Wednesday, look what happens. It sticks around a little bit for lower Louisiana, but then we're starting to see on Thursday, little drift. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I've been noticing is this low pressure area. I showed it yesterday. This low pressure area might linger in the upper Gulf. Sometimes these warm fronts backdooring around and hanging. Sometimes they could have some sneaky stormy weather. Definitely seeing signs of rain. Here's Saturday and Sunday. So right now, definitely looking like the low is going to be a weather player Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week coming into play. So we're going to talk about that. For sure, since we're already talking about the weekend coming up. The Euro, let me show you this low pressure area. Let me just go to the ensembles, tropicaltidbits.com. This is your low pressure ensemble average for Saturday. And you can see this low pressure here originate. This is your ensemble base grouping of 51 ensembles. Low pressures generally mean sometimes stormy weather, rainy weather, and you can just see this thing slide. Here's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So low pressure is looking likely across the southeast on the weekend into early next week. Doesn't really show development, but it definitely means we could be kick-starting the rainy season. But you can just see the lowering pressures here. Now there's another little thing we're going to talk about here in a second, the CAG setup. So we're starting to see signs of something on the Pacific side, Atlantic side. I briefly touched about it this morning. Usually middle May, we start to see tropics wake up. Even though June 1st is the date, it's very common to get a system in May. So we're going to talk about that too. So mid-level low, somewhere around here, we're going to be talking about it here. 500 millibar, I assume, is showing it too. Oh yeah, hell yeah, big time. So yeah, they've definitely got some weather in the making. You're going to hear about it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something going on in the upper southeast part of the U.S. area. I don't know what yet. I don't know how bad, how much rain. Definitely going to be a weather maker. Could be rainy Mother's Day, Joe. Yep. But hey, Mom likes doing things indoors, right? The GFS ensemble is almost the same exact thing. Here's 500 millibar, I assume. I haven't even looked at it. Yep. There's Monday next week. So basically low pressure hanging out. That mid-level low, really showing up on the GFS for Friday and Saturday. That's 500 millibar level. Lower level. Showing a little rotation. There was a model run that was showing this front backing up. Sometimes they go around and they sometimes can get going, but not really seeing this one. It's more of a mid-level and mid-level low pressure areas sometimes have a lot of shear from the jet stream coming down around it. You can see that right here. You can see that a lot of winds. Sometimes a jet stream wraps around it. So unless it has a lot of time to sit and mingle and meander, there's probably not going to be anything to develop, which is fine. But it could still bring a lot of rain. So that's that. 24-hour rain accumulation. You can kind of see this is through Saturday. You can see the GFS showing you a lot of rain. So yeah, definitely, that's the GFS. Euro rain accumulation. Here's Sunday. There's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So you can just kind of see a lot of juice just hanging around Florida there. Total accumulated rain. This is all the way through next week. But you can start to see next weekend things really start popping. So anyway, that's what's coming. That's the weather in a nutshell. Tropical on that system, very, very unlikely. Let's look at the radar today. I figured a 12Z's probably ran by now. 48 hours, yep. All right, so here's what the radar today looks like. I wanted to show the Florida folks. Here's things popping. There they start getting going about 1, 2 o'clock. You start to see a few little cells popping here this afternoon. There's a bunch of them popping. And then you can just see they're just going to hang out there. Pretty much Daytona South today. So that's your radar today. Classic sea breeze, slow movers, which could mean these are a little isolated. These are all little isolated supercells. Some of these could be, quick spin up little tornado. We could see some hail with some of these little guys, supercells popping. A lot of daytime heating today. So definitely could see some tricky little storms popping throughout the day today. So that's kind of the forecast. Very isolated on the severe stuff, but definitely could see some there's some spin. That's a helicity. That's your upper level winds shear. Sometimes these indicate possible tornadoes. So you can just see the environment's going to be Daytona South today. Could be sneaky. We get a lot of tornadoes sometimes with these sea breeze collisions, and we get a lot of convection, quick forming storms. So that's today. I just wanted to show you that. All right, so tornado or hurricane season. All right, so we just had this come out today. Let me pull this up, drink some coffee real quick. Noel, I remembered your name. No, we do have a dog vaguely in the background, Tiffany. Good morning, Loretta Reed. How you doing? Hail in Florida. What's up, Chris? Bray's been offense, yeah, but man, we got that kid that runs fast. We got Meisner, we got Magnum coming back. I love the fact that Walls was 5 for 5 on base yesterday. He hit grounders. Maybe he's given up on the home runs. Just hit the damn ball in the ground. Right. Woo! All right. All right, so hurricane season's inching in. All right, so like I said before, May is very common. Listen, this Saturday, there's an expo at Palm Harbor. Very nice expo my friend Erica puts on. She's going on our cruise. Erica, if you're listening, shout out. Erica, if you're listening, text me. You're supposed to be a true fan. But anyway, I'll be at Palm Harbor Hurricane Expo and have a nice little booth set up. So come by and say hi. Julie will be there and the kids. I'll do a little presentation there. We'll have some merch to give away. And we also have some shirts for sale. Some free Jim Beam giveaways. Come as friends, leave as family. My motto. All right, so this just came out. European comes out with these seasonal tropical forecasts. I don't think they mean much. last year, remember they were showing 30 storms and we ended up with 18. It just reiterates the fact that we should, things are going to be near normal. This actually predicted a little bit below normal, even though the official forecasts are above normal. But you might see it floating around. What's it mean? Well, it takes in a lot of parameters, and it also picks out the whole damn season. So this is all the months, 6 months, June through November. Only takes one. Remember that. So yeah, it's about normal. I have found these to not be very accurate, and they really don't tell you where they're going to be, who's going to get it, where the areas are. So, but I wanted to share it in case you saw it. But there are some other cool maps. I have secret links on the website, mikesweatherpage.com. Hit number 10 here, secret number 10, and it goes to this page. This is your probability maps for different weeks, and we can go 4 weeks out. And you can do tropical cyclones, storms, hurricanes, all that good stuff. Bad stuff, good stuff. No, didn't mean good stuff. I meant good weather products, bad weather outcomes. So nothing really showing now. You get to the second week of May, we're starting to see a little bit of activity here, and that has been showing up as an area. Very rarely you get anything formed that far south that pulls north. Usually these little areas slide across Central America and become something in the Pacific, but it shows you this whole general pattern. They call it a CAG. Chris, seriously, free stuff, buddy. Not alcohol, just free swag. They're fans of the page. I didn't know that. So, pretty cool. So we get these Central American gyres, they call them, big old areas of low pressure areas across Central America. Sometimes it'll spit out a system on the Pacific side, Atlantic side, very common. So that's kind of the setup. It always happens early in the year, and the models start using historical data. So you'll start seeing these random, especially GFS starts spitting out these storms because it looks at history. So, but this area is definitely an area, we start to see waves coming across. The waters are very warm. So definitely an area casually keep an eye on. We still have fronts coming down. Typically anything that forms on the Atlantic side would push off to the northeast. Very few landfalls, early season systems. A lot of times the early season systems are out over the Atlantic and they go off to the northeast. We do have some in the Gulf, though, that would be able to clip upper Gulf, Florida. Usually heavy rainmakers at the most for impacts. Very rare, if not impossible, but usually so much wind shear this time of year that you don't see anything stronger than that, tropical storms. So, but tropical storms can create a lot of havoc, especially if you get a lot of flooding in a slow-moving system. So anyway, point of this yabby is this area is showing up, and it's historically an area to possibly watch. And that goes in the middle part of May. You can see we're starting to see a few pulling off to the north. So yeah, it's interesting. Frontal lines turn tropical. Very normal. This is the end of May. We go to tropical storm percentages, and yeah, we got actually a little bit, 10 to 20% popping here. Now, doesn't, models are going to bounce around. I bet you it's not even there on yesterday's. Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, just, something to just casually know that we could get something down in this area, an old front. Most of the time they cross the Pacific. Sometimes they start here. But this one's a little, I wasn't going to post this one. I was going to share it for y'all. But here's the end of May. And look, could see a little something pulling up, maybe. Not unheard of at all. If you look at historical systems, a lot of storms in May in this area. So doesn't mean we're going to have a busy season. Doesn't mean things are going to be record breaking. It just means May's normal. It's normal not to. It's abnormal to not have a system in May. Put it to you that way. Oh, it's 10 o'clock, man. Some days go by so fast. Joel Harrison, what's up, buddy? Good morning. Tammy Harvey, good morning. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Margaret. Volkymon, hey, what's up? Cool name. All right. That's that. I do want to show you the latest GFS because I don't even think I really looked at it. Let's take a look at it. I think the GFS was spitting off a hurricane. I think. Was it? So the 6Z. Yeah, it was. See that? Now, right about here, this is middle May. This is what the Euro, this is GFS. This is the GFS we're looking at, tropicaltidbits.com. But this general area right here is what sometimes you get a system on either side. Now, the GFS is notorious for starting things early season. But you can see what it does. It makes sense, right? It pulls it up. So, yeah, definitely it's worth pointing out. We're starting to see action on the models down in this area. Last night, 00Z probably showed it, I would think. Yep. No. See, it kind of keeps it into Central America. So basically, you know, obviously there's zero confidence on anything right now. But just this general area, middle month, could start to see a big broad, not a big broad area, kind of ruling the weather down that way. And you can see it, I'm sure, middle month here. We can start to see, basically, looking at the wind barbs, just a sloppy mess down there. Euro. Oh, let's take a look at the Euro middle month. You got a couple waves coming across, and there's your little low there. So, yeah, I mean, just obviously nothing at all to get worked up about. But be aware of it. You're going to see that one GFS run. But the last 3 runs before that, it didn't show it. So just be careful. Understand, I guess, that yes, that area is an area to watch. But there's nothing solid. It's just historically, it's an area to watch. But the water temps are warm. You know, we got slowly, you know, Gulf's a little above normal. Overall, though, I mean, things aren't like they were last year. And that's a good thing. But long-range forecasting on the water temps are trending up there. We can do, let's look at SIP's model here. This is Tropical Tidbits. We can look at sea surface anomalies for the different months. And you can pretty much see May, June, July, August. And it's not everybody. It's cooler in the Pacific. And that's signs of neutral La Nina. So it's just less winds on the Atlantic side create less upwelling. We have less surface winds coming across the intertropical convergence zone, and you know, weaker Bermuda high pressure winds. You get less upwelling, and you get more chance for that sea surface temperature to warm up. So, you know, like I said, if you look at the overall, I think we got Eastern Pacific. See, waters are just warmer on the Atlantic side, Gulf side. September, they're going to be neutral to cooler on the Pacific side. So it's not everybody. It's just, you know, there's your La Nina kicking in possibly as we get into winter next month. Cooler waters in the Pacific, but, you know, our waters here are forecast to be above normal. That's one of the million things to look at. Here's October on the CFS, September. So, you know, just one of the factors. Anyway. Anyway, Debbie was crazy flooding. Yeah, I talked about Debbie actually 2012. It's funny you bring that up, Mark Hall, because I have a slide on Debbie. Softball, James. No, she ended the season very well. She led the team in stats, which I was happy about. She had the lowest ERA, highest strikeout percentage. But travel ball starting now, so we're going to be playing a lot this summer. She's actually practicing with her travel ball team, and she likes it. She's getting to play more infield. Chris, good question. Has the Gulf temperatures increased by any amount since 24? Well, probably the best site for that would be this McNulty site that we use. It's not really sea surface temperature, but it's, well, there's another way you can look at it too. If you really want to compare that, you could do this. So go to, let's look at NOAA's satellite anomaly map right here. And I guess we can, they haven't increased. I mean, they're gonna cool down in the wintertime historically, but I guess if we look at anomaly maps, would make the most sense. Anomaly maps are 30-year averages. So if we go back weekly, this is March. It was above normal. Pretty much, you know, let's go back. Let's just go back to after Milton. So here's your anomaly map. It was hot September last year into October. The water's cooled down a little bit with Milton. This is end of October. You can see the water anomaly now saying water was normal. And then going into the end of October, there's a big old cool patch because of Milton. And going through October, you know, it slowly came back. I mean, that's what happens. Here's November. The Gulf Stream is very strong right now. The Gulf Stream pumps in those warm Caribbean waters. This is through December. And there was a time that, this is the shallow shelf part of the Gulf. That water through January was freezing, especially along the coastal areas. We were really cold. This is January. But look what happened going into February. It didn't take long, and this warm water pumping up from the Gulf Stream started warming things up. And we had a couple cold snaps here in March. There's one of Julie's uncontrollable sneezes again. Here's April. Kind of where we're at now. And, we got a little cold pocket, but all in all, we're right back. Though that was back in 1990. Look at the water in January in 1990. It was way colder than normal. So I always look at things too. So let's look at the same week in 24. So basically, anomaly maps, you can click temperature above normal. So basically, I don't know if you just want to average it, 2 maybe, a couple of places 3, but mainly at 1.5 to 2.5 degrees above normal. You could just say little cold pocket here, but all in all, the Gulf Stream is about 2 degrees above normal. I would just guess 2 degrees above normal. Now, if we go back in time to last year, let's go back to April 21st and 24 and see where the water temperatures were anomaly-wise then. And, I mean, other than the Gulf Stream being a little more stronger last year, the Gulf had some cold pockets. This was last year at the same time. And you can see 2 degrees, a lot of neutral, but I would say on average it's almost the same. That was then, this is now. Maybe a little warmer now. So, But if you go to Brian McNulty's site, hit products, hit ocean heat content, this is the water temperature below the surface. And basically, we are on average in this region a little cooler than last year. It's so hard this time of year. There's really not a lot of swings in the ocean heat content, not until we get into like June, July, and definitely in August, September. Now last year it was really hot. Indicator of our Helene and Milton and even Beryl in July. But there was our warm ocean heat content anomaly on a 11-year average, 13 to 24 in the blue. And you can see in 23, it really dipped down after Idalia, and then it popped right back up to October. The reason we didn't have anything really after Idalia was we had a lot of wind shear. There really wasn't anything getting, the water was hot, but the thing about last year was that water carried over to 24. And it's kind of hard to see down here. I mean, because the Gulf waters are just, they warm up so fast. Probably a better indicator of overall temperatures would be the Western Caribbean. Because when we ended last year, we were already above normal last year. So we started this year above normal, and there's our red. So where we ended last year, we're almost exactly where we were in 24. Now we had that cool spell here at the end of March. Water really cooled off, so we'll see what it does here as we enter May. Still above May temperatures from 23, but below 24. But you can see, this whole area right here, way above normal. And that's partly the reason Helene was so bad and Milton was so bad. And Barrow was so bad, honestly. Barrow was here in July. July temperatures were almost the same as September. That was one long run-on sentence. Pollen is bad. Let's take a look at the pollen map. I give up looking at our trees are done, so I don't keep up with the pollen map. But here's the latest Weather Channel pollen map. You can see it's sliding to the north. They have other maps too. They have a grass pollen map. This might be what you're seeing in Texas or Tennessee. Grass pollen is really bad in the red. So that was it. Yeah, she's excited, James. She gets to play a little infield. I know she really wants to. All right. Well, I'm being called out on the Brew Crew. I went way past 10 o'clock. How come some days are easier than others? I don't know. A lot of weather to talk about. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Got our cruise coming up next month. Believe it or not, there's still like 2 cabins left. So if you want to make a last-minute cruise and hang out with a bunch of cool weather people, I think we had 2 cruises. 2 cabins were on hold and they opened up. So if you want a last-second cruise on the Utopia and join the Mike's Weather Page cruise and party it up and have the time of your life, click on the MWP cruise button here and call Kim today. Kim Shipley. Right there. And last but not least, dust map, Daddy. Yeah. Kind of dust. African dust, Saharan dust. The best. The best. Well, I think I got the Fox link on here. Do I have the Fox link on here? Yeah, this is a cool one. Wait a minute. Has it updated? Yeah, that's right. It's correct. So there's one right here, the dust map right there. Boom. And then there's one right there. So there's 2 right there. There's not a lot of dust right now. This one's a combination of dry air and dust. This one's a little more trickier to follow, but there's very little dust out there right now. And I will show you the real one here. NASA dust. I like this one. Tropical Atlantic. And here is the current plume. It just kind of fizzles out by the time it gets to the islands. You still might get a little bit, actually. Take that back. There's a little bit pumping through the Lesser Antilles and Barbados. That next plume might get there by the 12th of May, next week. So we'll see if that one makes it to the lower part of the islands, ABC Islands down there. Trinidad, Tobago. I know those countries. Dobro player. He used to know or no Dobro. That was Curtis Lowe. Solyndra, yeah, you're welcome. Enjoy the Smokies. What is a dobro? Is that like a slide guitar? I just know that was a ballad of Curtis Lowe, Leonard Skinner, one of my favorite songs. I do love the slide guitar. Like the Allman Brothers introduced me to slide guitar and Statesboro Blues, man. Have a good Monday, Margaret. Thank you. And last but not least, if you're a weather groupie and love weather and want to join our MWP chat and even get more personal with all of us, and click on the subscribe section here, MWP Brew Crew right there, MWP Brew Crew, $4.99 a month. Cat 5s get a lot more stuff, but you have access to MWPchat.com and a whole plethora of cool stuff over there, including an Ask Mike section that I'll answer your questions, and you can message and we can talk, and mingle with only weather folks. If you're wanting a social feed that's only weather, then we'll see you over there. Shelly will send you out an email. Join the Brew Crew. All right, we're going to sign off. See everybody on Wednesday. Remember, only live this week coming up is Wednesday, but I'm always posting 24/7. You can count on that. We'll be live on Wednesday. Next week, I'm flying to Kansas City. We got the GHC, but we'll be live next Friday. So 2 lives coming up this next Wednesday, and then the following Friday. A lot of weirdness. But you can always keep up when the next live is. Right there. The next Daily Brew. Right there. And if you go to MWP Chat, if you are a member of the Brew Crew, MWP Chat has a calendar section, events, and it'll be listed right here, upcoming events, and you'll get notified 10 minutes before, and you get notified when I go live. But never miss a post. There's all my posts. Everything goes over there. A lot of people complain they don't get to see all my posts. Well, if you go over there, all my posts. Oh, we have an Ask Mike question. Oh, I get to answer an Ask Mike question. All right. Hey, we'll see y'all Wednesday. Okay. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Have a margarita. Mini margaritas.